this evening. We've got Bosco Paul joining us. Welcome.
Hi Nicole, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you. It's a beautiful warm day today.
It is.
Yes.
I know, even this evening it's gorgeous and
It's
warm out
beautiful,
there.
yeah.
I hope that stays that way.
That is it. Okay,
I've
good,
heard
yeah,
that we're getting
expecting
rain,
that,
but I hope
yes.
the weather guy's wrong.
Yeah, I think this year we're actually getting more warmth than last year, I think. Yeah.
Absolutely. You like the warm weather?
I love warm weather, yeah, especially if people move from Indian subcontinent. It's more like warmer weather over there. Yeah, tropical weather. So love warm weather. And also feel, according to Ayurveda, it says the warmth is always good to have a better flow of circulation, less aches and pains. When it comes to more colder seasons, like winter or rain in India, for example, or here, people get more aches and pains, tensions, more stress, because these days, in our country here, we have less sunlight those days when the winter comes, which makes even worse for even stress also, because the light index goes down, and which makes people more stressful because they sit inside more often, hesitate to go outside because of the wind, the cold, and that makes them more depressed. Feel of it's everywhere when the weather changes.
True.
So warmth is always I would love. I know a lot of people who move from European countries love the colder weather, but as a practitioner, I've seen a lot of more clients coming on the period of winter season because of that aches and pains, and getting eczema, getting flaring up, asthma flaring up, because it's always it's a time of kapha and vata imbalances, which actually makes a lot of other health issues. Yeah.
Let's go through that because this evening we're going to just go through a few little health tips regarding cleansing the body, with herbs, mindset, relaxation techniques, which I understand you offer sort of massage at your clinic and things like that. We're going to go through a little bit of Ayurveda. So if you can just do a little brief intro for those who don't know what it is.
Ayurveda is an ancient Indian medicine, even older than any other traditional medicines. Ayurveda means the science of life. Ayur means life, and Veda means the knowledge or the science. So why the reason why it became a scientific, or like a lot of researches are going on in Ayurvedic medicine, and even in Australia we have training programs run by registered training organizations. And that is how I moved to Australia. One of the training organizations sponsored me to Adelaide to teach Ayurveda. Ayurveda is about how can we live in a balance of physical well-being, looking at our psychological well-being, our emotional aspect, hormonally, how can we be in a balance. Also, spiritually, Ayurveda also gives an importance in being the nature of the person, how you feel yourself, rather than not just symptomatic aspects. So that is why Ayurveda is getting more and more importance these days, especially with our Western lifestyle and stressful, busy life. So that's all. That's Ayurveda in a nutshell. Ayurveda, we did a 6-year medical degree in India, and it covers all the basic philosophies of Ayurvedic medicines. Of course, anatomy, physiology, pathology, pharmacology, all those also covered in our studies. However, when a client comes to our clinic, an Ayurvedic practitioner always look in a holistic approach rather than looking at what are the symptoms that the person is. Of course, we will address that, of course, but we look at what is the actual root cause of the problem. So that is the relevance of Ayurveda in the modern society. That if someone is coming with a let's say joint pain, how symptomatic relief we can provide just with some relaxation or like a massage or something like that. But in order to look at its root cause, the Ayurvedic knowledge is quite helpful, it assists the practitioner to explain the reasons of the health issues, and then eliminating the reasons or cause itself is the first line of therapy. So identifying the problem, the root cause of the problem, and eliminating that root cause. That way we can reduce the progress of the disease conditions, and of course some herbal supplements, some spices, use of spices in daily life, or some changes in the lifestyle. That also makes the person back to their normal constitution, and that is what we call a healthy constitution, a prakriti, or natural constitution of a healthy person. Yes.
That's interesting. Because we think, when you mentioned, joint pain, you think it's just sort of one thing, but it's not. It's many things, isn't it? It can be diet, it can be anything. Some people that don't stretch, the importance of stretching and yoga and deep breathing and eating well, all those things play a role in joint pain. We wouldn't think, but it does.
Exactly. People, when people come with health issues, or when we look at our diet is most important thing according to Ayurveda. Ayurveda classify food in 6 different categories based on the taste or nutrition, like sweet, sour, salty, astringent, pungent, and bitter. So and each health issues get worsened with some of the taste or some of the nutrients. Some and then get better with other taste. So that is the Ayurvedic principle to look at.
So someone might need more sort of sugary things or salty things to improve their health.
That's right. Yes. So we cannot simply say that this particular taste is bad and this one is better or good. It depends on the person. Mm-hmm. So for example, we know people who are find it hard to lose weight, but at the same time we have seen people who had difficulty to gain weight and they wanted to get a better masculine body or a more better weight. So and with any health health needs, it's basically it's a balance. The person, the feel of the person. That is why I rather look at the psychological aspect, hormonal aspect. But again, the root of our health is our food itself.
So we can change or sort of assist in hormonal imbalances through food. You hear women going through menopause or youngsters going through adolescence or any sort of hormonal change from medication. Can't medications change hormones too a bit?
The Ayurvedic medicines or Ayurvedic herbs also assist for changes in the hormones. For example, herbs like asparagus, root of asparagus, which is commonly used in the Ayurvedic practice. It is called Shatavari in Ayurveda. These days, it is available even in chemists. And other herbs like ashwagandha, brahmi. See, the reason why it is getting more and more popular is because of lack of side effects and also people seeing an improvement with taking those supplements. So, definitely it will be assisting for people to get back to in a better balance of hormones. Again, looking at the hormones, Ayurveda considers that as a part of Pitta. Pitta is a kind of all sort of fluids in the body, and hormones is also kind of fluids secreted by the glands. So Ayurveda considers as a part of it's a quality of the Pitta. If someone is feeling too much heat in their body, that is because of elevated levels of Pitta or elevated level of fire element in the body. So when an Ayurvedic practitioner get a client like this, they recommend client to reduce the heating elements, for example, spicy hot food or acidic food like tomatoes or eggplants or whatever is too acidic in nature, pickle or so that way they can reduce the fire element in the body. They feel cooler, and we also introduce some cooling elements like coriander or teas, some alkalizing herbs. So that actually gives a balance of, or bring the body back to the balance of normal nature.
Yeah, it's all about really finding that balance, isn't it? That's what we want to achieve, and have a good digestion, good digestive fire, the Agni.
That's right.
Because, I mean, that's malabsorption sort of ties into that, doesn't it? You know, we can eat really healthy, but if we're stressed and we've got acids in our stomach, you can eat the perfect, healthiest meal, but it's going to do nothing. It's going to be...
That's right.
What's the word? It won't be absorbed.
That won't be absorbed, or it's malnourished. Still, people, take a. We have different diets these days. We have vegan diet, vegetarian diet, or food by different diets we have. However, people feel depleted, malnutrition, deficiencies, and why this is happening? Because we need to know how our digestive fire is, and based on, if we know the strength of the fire, based on that we should introduce the dietary ingredients. Yeah, it's not just taking one meal that made another person better. Doesn't mean that this, I will get the same benefit. That's why people try these different diets and still having difficulty to get that balance. Or people would say that I tried this, I'm feeling this, good in this aspect, but I'm feeling difficulty with the other side. I'm getting stressed, I'm getting not sleeping well. So it's actually a balance and a routine. And
so routine's important, you think?
Yes.
Like what? Rising at the same time, going to bed at the same time?
That's right. I know we are in a busy life and it's a bit hard to follow, but again, taking meals on time. For example, in a busy schedule, with some, most of the time people skip their breakfast, or they would say maybe some snacks or some teas or coffee for their lunch because it's too busy. And the thing is, our body is actually always follows a particular rhythm, and that rhythm nowadays, we heard about circadian rhythm, different the body fluids are excreted, or like body fluids are coming into the gut, or even gut biomes also work based on these rhythms. So we should have a good rhythm. Then not only our physical body, but also even the gut biomes can function in its normal, peaceful way. So someone is actually laid to sleep on a regular basis, can, of course, then the person will be waking up light, and that leads them to feel less hungry early morning, and that actually pushes their routine. So yes, the routine is quite important according to Ayurveda, because our heart rate, there is a rhythm, breathing, there is a rhythm, even for our digestion, there is a rhythm. Body is prepared when at the time of this lunch, and if you're not giving the food, that means it's almost like torching our body, isn't it?
So based on that, you don't believe in fasting or intermittent fasting just for maintaining general health and wellness? Because I mentioned that because it's a hot topic at the moment.
That's right, yes.
So if you say the body needs food, well, what happens with intermittent fasting and just having a 6-hour feeding window, and the rest of the time you're resting your digestion? What do you think about that?
Fasting is good. Ayurveda also recommends situations of or conditions that you must fast. For example, if somebody is so very heavy after, or feeling a feverish condition after having a heavy meal, or some fluid retention or whatever, those situations Ayurveda recommends to fast for a period of time. Even regular fasting or intermittent fasting is also helpful for people who want to lose weight, but we need to look at our body type. That's the important part. Is my body ready for that?
Yeah, that's right.
Rather than just making a conclusion that yes, this is food for everyone, and if I do the same. So people after practicing a month of intermittent fasting still having trouble to lose body weight. Some situations they feel tired and lethargic and feeling difficulty to continue with their daily activities. So we need to look at where we are standing, what is our body types, what is the strength of my body, and then based on that we can take fasting. Again, not necessarily the same 16 hours of fasting necessary for everyone. And again, when look at that 5 hours or 8 hours window. That
What you eat.
what you eat is also equally important.
Yeah.
Because if the person have craving towards sugar and the person is taking a lot of sugar at that time, that's even worse. That actually makes the glycemic level even worse. So we need to look at where we are actually standing, how our body is, and then based on that with the professional support, people can actually make a decision.
What are your thoughts on cleansing as well? You know, simplifying our diet. You know, mono meals, just to cleanse and give the liver a bit of a break. You know, just rest the liver, rest the. You know, not too many foods, heavy foods, or too big meals. Like, what do you say about that?
Cleanse, yeah, our body needs cleanse. There's no doubt about it.
So lighter foods.
Lighter food and also elimination. You know, how our body eliminates all, the bowel movement and urine, eliminating the urine. They are the best ways to eliminate our toxins from the body, whatever food waste or whatever we ingested through mouth should be, after the assimilation, should be eliminated. And whatever you're eliminating are actually toxins. If it stays inside the body, it turns into difficult conditions, if urine is not or bile is not properly eliminated, that leads to jaundice or other conditions of liver issues. So elimination is very important. We can call it as a detox in a better language. So bowel movement, a regular bowel movement, again, that's a routine. That's part of the routine, eliminating the bowel, urine.
A couple of times a day, is that normal?
Yeah, that's normal. Sometimes people
not
think
once a day, a couple,
not once,
2 or 3,
more than once. Yes. Ayurveda says one is not enough, because our food that we eating is not not enough. And sometimes people, because of the way they're thinking, if somebody is going twice a day, they feel like I'm getting diarrhea. People feel like is it diarrhea? And when people come like that, I ask them, how is your bowel? And they said, oh, it's all fine, but I'm going twice daily. I said, that's not abnormal. That's normal. You're taking that much, should be eliminated, because
you want it out, you don't want it in.
That's
so
right.
2 and 3 is even better, isn't it? Means the
Exactly.
body's like a machine.
Yes.
It's processing, it's functioning.
And too much food waste inside the body makes other organs heavy. If someone is quite regular in their routine, the bowel movement or cleanse, these people actually, people can actually feel if they didn't eliminate in time. They feel like a bit of tension and heavy.
Tension. What, they feel stressed?
Yeah, they feel body like a stress. Yes. Or headache sometimes. People, if they're not going regularly, they feel like a headache. So yes, elimination is one of the fundamental requirement for a healthy body. So from there we should start. What is the meaning of detox is? So liver detox. When we say liver detox, liver is the factory which purifies all the toxins which gets into the body. So all the toxins are comes through the liver cells, which should be eliminated through our urine and stool. So the liver needs some rest, and that is why this fasting or drinking water, plenty of water, or some teas, herbal teas, that's all come into place. So how can we clean our body? The only best way is actually cleanse and doing a detox. Nowadays in Ayurveda, there's a lot of detox programs are there. We commonly call it as Panchakarma, 5 different elimination therapies. In America and all, it's getting more and more popularity because it helps the people to feel lighter, feel more energetic, more fit than before before they do the Panchakarma or a detox. So, and feel lighter, yes.
So that word?
Panchakarma means 5 therapies.
5 therapies.
Yes, it's a cleanse of the stomach by induced vomiting. A cleanse, even vomiting,
to induce it.
To eliminate the mucus, excess mucus.
I think I remember you saying that last time.
That's right.
But
yes.
under medical supervision.
Under supervision, that's right. Yes.
Why would
Under
they?
the
Why would they
doctor's
want it to
support.
come back up that way though?
So if someone is actually feeling a lot of heaviness and mucus in their stomach, the best way to eliminate is by taking some herbs and the closest route to eliminate is actually by mouth itself. So that is why that elimination treatment or vomiting treatment is helpful for people who are, shortness of breath and heavy chest and feeling of heaviness in the upper body. That's really helpful. If a person is having more in the digestive area, like pitta issues, we call it as virachana, which is a diarrhea treatment. So in that situation, with the support of an Ayurvedic practitioner, Ayurvedic doctor, they take some herbs and then eliminate to the bottom and cleanse that a few times in a day. And that actually helps the person to reduce that heat or that stress or that heaviness and that we said before. They feel lighter, feel like they're fitter. And there is another treatment called Vasti, which is a colonic. So that's also explained in Ayurveda how to practice colonic to cleanse the colon. That is mainly for dominated Vata condition like joint problems or dry skin or eczema kind of conditions, even for weight gain problems even. So these are three major cleansing therapies. Also, I will explain about nasal drops, which is to cleanse the sinuses and the channels in the head to feel the lightness, because a lot of people feel heaviness and because you carry all the stress and tension in the head.
Right. Does that create mucus, the stress? Like,
not
like congestion in the
congestion
nose?
Is because of more because of for example, like now I feel a little bit congested because of the aircon.
Yeah, it's cold.
It's getting cold, so cold actually can make congestion, and that is why the winter also
you can
makes.
Put it up if you want. I think that happened last time.
That's right. Yeah. I'm a Kapha person. I'm a Kapha Pitta person, constitution. So if that's another reason why I prefer a warmer season or a more.
So what are you feeling from the cold again?
Feel a bit of congestion.
So when that quickly you feel that?
Yeah, that's right. Yes. So when I first came, as started, then my voice was a little bit more lighter, but now it's getting, a little bit hoarse, isn't it? That is what we call changes in the body. And that's for everyone. Yeah.
But you notice it.
I notice it. Yes.
You're
but
tuned
because
in.
you observe and also
yes.
that's right. Same with someone who is having aches and pains. If it sits under the vent for some time, I feel like I'm getting shoulder tension. Yeah, but if, usually in my training programs, I tell them that if you can move a little bit further away from the vent, then they feel better. Yeah. Yes.
But not women that are having hot flashes.
Of course, I ask them to come closer.
That's it.
It's a bit tricky to manage a group when there is a mixed age groups, and
that's it.
You want to turn it off?
Or whatever you want. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I'll turn it off.
Okay. On the far right, that's off.
Yeah.
We are aircon off.
That's right. For a Kapha person, that's it. Yeah, you can change that. You notice this, right?
So now that you've put it off, you'll feel better in the next 10 minutes, let's say.
You already found the difference when I first came, and now after 10 minutes you observe and you can tell that.
Right.
Yes.
Interesting. Now you just briefly mentioned fruit before, so you think fruit's a good thing to cleanse the liver because give the body a bit of a break because fruit digests. It's the fastest digesting food. So is that like a soothing, nourishing food to just help cleanse? Like, some days people say, I'm just going to have fruit for lunch. I'm not going to have a big sandwich with cheese and ham.
Yeah.
I'm just going to have fruit. You think that's good fruit?
That's good, but also we need to look at, again, constitution. For example, if someone is having a pitta high, having a menopausal time or acidic stomach and like that, if a person is skipping the meal and taking some mandarin or like some savory fruits or citrus fruits can make things worse.
Why is that?
So because you're adding more citric acid into the stomach.
Well, that can make hot flashes worse.
Not the hot flashes, but
symptoms.
According to Ayurveda, it is not the best practice. Ayurveda says it's good to have some. You can have some cooling nature. The fruits also we can divide classify into different
there's better
categories.
fruits than
That's
others,
right.
like berries, less sugar.
That's right. Yes.
Right.
So if someone is having already having high glycemic index, there are particular fruits that are appropriate for them, isn't it? Best for them. Not all fruits. So that is what we should look at. Look at our body. If I'm a kapha person, better go for lighter food, which easily digest. If I'm already heavy, we should go for lighter food, isn't it? If I'm already acidic in nature, we should go for less acidic foods or a more alkalizing kind of banana like that should be good.
Is that more alkalizing?
Yeah, that's
really?
right. Yeah, they're compared to citrus
I
fruits.
thought it had more carbs.
So yeah,
Has it got more carbs?
And yeah, sweeter and carbs, yes, makes it kapha like a less pitta, better balance for a person with acidity.
One thing I want to ask is about sleep. You know, we hear so many people have insomnia, they're not sleeping. Sometimes they sleep well, sometimes they don't, and a lot of time they don't. You see a lot of that in your
We
clinic.
get plenty of people who have difficulty. When I was treating someone with sleep issue for last 1 month, I just came after that treatment. And this person was going through a lot of conventional systems of medicine and specialists and like that. And you know, they have their own roles in the society. And this person wasn't getting any improvement, and and she was actually thinking about going to India, get some medical treatments.
Was it that bad?
Yeah, so she wasn't sleeping and she couldn't continue her work. She wasn't sure if she can take a new role, and then now started Ayurvedic therapies, already feeling almost back normal. So she's confident to go back to work. In short period of time, like 3-4 sessions. What I'm saying. So Ayurvedic therapies are like that. It is not like a doctor or a practitioner sees once a while or like that. It's not more regular, close monitoring of the client and their diet and how symptoms are changing better, and then bringing them back to their healthy nature.
Yeah. So an element in that would be sort of maybe emotional cleansing, and because sometimes people think a lot, thinking, worrying, busy, pressure. So that's an element too, you see?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Stress definitely plays a big role in sleep, and that was nervous system. According to Ayurveda, we consider if a person is sleeping very good, means his vata his stress level is much controlled. Whereas if a person is not sleeping well, that is actually a sign that they have more chances of anxiety issues or other vata imbalances. Like again, bloated stomach, feeling of tiredness, lethargy. So these are all we can see as a complication of not having good sleep. So having, again, it's a part of the routine. You should have a good, if someone is having trouble with the sleep, the best thing that we recommend is actually having some some warm drink before they go to bed, and then maybe less devices, especially screens, and then go to bed on a regular time, and that actually gives some routine. Body knows that it's a time to shut down and sleep, and in the modern science also these days, that the time at night when you deep sleep, that's the time our body cleansing also. So we need that time.
Not to go to bed on a full stomach, not eat
That's
and
right.
then lie down.
Yes, I know a lot of people are actually working nighttime, and they actually have to change their routine based on that. But that is still better than people who are working some days during the day, some days during the night. That even difficult. Yeah, it's quite difficult to support. Yeah, but again, it's actually they look at their balance. What is they need to achieve with this work? Is there any chance they can move to that? To a routine either during the day or evenings. That way if they can manage it, that makes their life much better. And if it's going regularly, that actually we reflect. We can see that in the other body areas.
Yeah, we really need our sleep, don't we?
Absolutely.
Doesn't it increase our insulin as well? And people can get sugar diabetes and heart issues if they're sleep deprived.
Yeah, it makes people, you know, if you
health
don't
issues.
get good sleep, it makes person tired, and all the body, the organs doesn't function as normal.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned bloated stomach. You know, what about people that, bloating is sort of quite common no matter what they eat, even if they don't eat much. You know, sometimes
That's
you
right.
hear them say, I'm bloated and I haven't even eaten much.
Ayurveda says bloated stomach is a kind of air element is more in the stomach. Air is feeling of bloated or burping or wind or whatever. So Ayurveda says to pacify that vata or air element, we need something solid. We need food. If you take food in time, and then that I can actually reduce that chance of accumulation of air in the stomach. However, another quality of air is cold and dry. So if something is warm and a little bit heavy, which is that's why we recommend to take sautéed or a little bit of oily food or something warm and moist food should be taken, and that actually helps people to.
That helps with the bloating.
With the bloating, and also that helps for bowel movement, because these both are actually connected.
Warm.
Yeah, warm and moist food. Warm and moist food, because moisture is needed for eliminating food. Yes. So not very dry.
Doesn't it? Like how's it going to go through the pipes?
That's right.
It needs oil and water to just move.
Exactly. If it's too dry, if somebody is taking too dry food, then always have that complaint of bloated stomach. Or even if it's too light food, like someone taking too much nuts or seeds as a meal, or someone wants to lose weight, want to skip heavy meals, they feel, I'm feeling like a pregnant because of this bloated.
Right.
Yeah, but in the morning I'm fine, but in the evening I feel like this. So, and that's correcting that lifestyle, correcting the diet. That is the root cause. I mean, root of all the Ayurvedic therapies.
So, also, what services do you offer at your clinic? I know massage. I know personalised one-on-one treatment, assessing people's health and working with them over a period of time. You got the hot oil. What's that called? The hot oil
Shirodhara.
on the head.
So we offer a treatment called Shirodhara, which is pouring of warm, medicated herbal an oil cooked with herbs in it. That actually assists a lot of people to calm down, and then a better circulation into their brain, so that feel better sleep. Most of the people who have trouble with difficulty because of stress or sleep issues, they come to the clinic. They would say, I want this every Friday evening.
Oh yeah, exactly. What's in it? Like cumin and fennel and all things that we can eat?
That's right, yeah, that's
like
right. Everything that we are using in
things?
the Ayurvedic are actually something we can consume. So nothing other than that, only pure herbs only. So that actually is just a warm oil, just like giving a good massage. Yeah.
Does it have to be like a light oil, like rose oil or something? Like would olive oil be too thick and heavy?
Usually Ayurveda, we use oils cooked with herbs in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the oil property also changes according to the quality of the
so you use different oils for different people.
That's right.
What, like vegetable, olive, coconut?
Now, the base oil would be either sesame oil or coconut oil, but the herbs can be totally different. If somebody's having
coconut oil and what?
Sesame oil.
Oh yeah, sesame because it's light. Is that why?
Yeah, sesame oil is not light, but it's
not light.
It's because I mentioned before that the reduced sleep or neurological issues or anxiety, these are all connected to the nervous system, and we consider that as an imbalance of vata, light, air. So vata requires something warm and moist. We said that for this case of stomach, like bloated stomach, warm and moist. Exactly the same thing requires for the head also. So when we do this warm oil is moist in nature and warm in nature, that makes the person flat and relaxed. And most of them who have trouble with sleep, they would say, you can hear snoring.
That's
on the
good
table.
to know.
Yeah.
I've got a few people I'm thinking of in my head that can come see you for that massage.
So we offer that one. We offer lymphatic drainage, which is actually another cleanse of lymphatic system. A lot of people having trouble with lymphedema and lymphatic issues. A lot of people, we're getting a referral from practitioners, medical practitioners, cosmetic surgeons, to do this lymphatic cleanse for healing process and liposuction condition
after they've had cosmetic surgery,
cosmetic
like what's it
surgeries.
called, Botox and that.
Botox or even liposuction.
What they have to cleanse.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Like the movement of this lymphatic fluid should be is actually helpful for the healing and to feel better. And
why do they need it after that? Is it the chemicals injected into them?
that's one aspect, but probably from a medical perspective, it's more the immune system is managed by the quality of the lymph cells. So there is more lymph cells gets into the into the system because of these surgeries and healing process. It needs to be eliminated. So that is why it requires, and lymph doesn't have any pumping system. It requires some push, either by movement or by massage. So that is why
massage is good for lymph.
That's right. So that's why it's called lymphatic drainage.
What else is good for lymphatic drainage? Massage and what?
That is what it is called with lymphatic drainage.
The massage.
Massage is called. Yes.
Oh, so only through massage you can get
Only
that.
that's right.
You
yes.
offer it through massage.
You offer that, yes.
Yeah.
yes.
I thought there was another way. That's why I asked. I thought there was another way of draining lymph. That's
Lymph,
where I
only by
just food or
exercise and exercise.
Exercise.
Exercise. Muscle movement.
Exercise.
But again, like it shouldn't be too firm. It needs to be a particular way.
Gentle exercise.
Gentle practices and massage helpful for assisting for the movement of the lymphatic system. And that is something we offer. We also offer these cleanse programs like detox programs. We offer the people comes with a lot of chronic health issues, even for skin, eczema.
Is that common these days? Is it skin
issues? It is an issue. It's a because of our weather. Our atmosphere is air is very dry.
Yeah,
it actually makes people quite dry skin because it's best by this dries our skin. That's why we apply a moisturizer. I usually recommend straight after the shower. It's good to apply the moisturizer.
Coconut oil or something.
Yeah, that's something natural is always best.
Should we definitely do that?
Ideally, it is good to practice that because it keeps the moisture in the skin and there's less chance for dryness of the skin, because it can get worse and leads to eczema issues. And when the winter comes, it's even worse because it's too dry and cold. And that's why Ayurveda look at that as a vata imbalance, again, imbalance of too much dryness. So you apply again oil. Oil is again moisture and warm application of warm oil. So yeah, so that is another service that we offer people with digestive issues, people with sleep issues or neurological issues, back pain. That's very common, back pain and shoulder injuries, work injuries. A lot of people comes with shoulder or work injuries because of not following proper manual handling techniques, or because of their work pressure, or repeated stress injuries. And a lot of them comes at the last stage that they find it hard to continue their work, and we give more regular treatments which assist them to go back to their work. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, it's a comprehensive approach, to a holistic approach for making the person feel fit and feeling of that lightness.
So I just want to check in with you. How are you feeling now that it's warmer in here?
What do you think?
Well,
I think it's clear and a little bit louder. My voice is a little bit louder, or
and smoother.
That's it. Yeah, that's the difference. So you noticed when I first came, how it was less like now, and then gradually it made a little bit heavy and congested, and now it's going back to. And that is why I would recommend to use the beanies. Beanie, we say, the ears are the windows of the brain. So we use a beanie in the winter season, which actually makes the person warm. A lot of people are actually doing that, using that, but not everyone. That's not necessary for people who are feeling really hot, of course, but again, they need to look at what is the reason why everyone is, why it is a winter season, everyone should feel warm. Why I'm not feeling, cold, why I'm not feeling that cold. So yeah, again, it's Ayurveda is a learning about our own body,
Yeah.
our own life.
And tuning in.
That's
Like
right.
you were tuned in when it was too cold, you knew straight away.
Exactly. The solutions are already there. All these situations. We recommend, unless it's an emergency. We should look at in an emergency situation. We should get the conventional therapies. But if it's something like, I'm not eating food, I'm feeling acid stomach. I don't necessarily to go and take pills for that, because if I take my food in time, that actually makes my stomach better. I feel better, no other complications. So yeah, that's what I was talking all about.
Very good. That's a good way. I think we can wrap it up there. That's awesome. And I will just mention, is it kitchery?
Yes.
The rice and mung beans and spices, because I've heard a lot of good things about it. So I just want to throw it out there. If anyone's thinking, what do I cook? Rice and beans, mung beans, or you can do it with red lentils. It's nice,
Yes.
warming, nourishing.
That's right. Yes, because in kitchen is a good combination of all the 6 different nutrients. So it includes some rice, which is a carbohydrate. We put lentils, which is protein, and we have to put a little bit of ghee or oil, which actually makes it more. The fat is there, fat nutrients are there, and also we add some spices and all these nutrients like minerals and vitamins. It is a good wholesome food.
Nice.
It's a good wholesome food, which is easy to digest because we cooked it very well, added with a lot of water, and that makes it easy to digest, easy to eliminate, cleanse our body.
Is that good for diabetics too? Because I know a lot of people have diabetes, type 1 and 2 diabetes these days.
I would suggest that you should reduce the amount of rice in that situation.
Less rice,
Again, I don't
or
think
no rice.
Minimize it. I don't
Just
think
a little bit.
completely they should avoid. I don't think they should avoid completely,
Why?
but a little bit, because everyone to keep the energy that everyone needs some glucose, of course. Otherwise, they feel depleted.
Even
that's
diabetics
Even diabetics
need a bit of.
yes. Yeah, and we get glucose from everywhere too. Yeah, we can't just rely on leafy food.
I know,
or
that's
lentils
boring.
only.
We'd be stressed.
That's right.
I remember doing that years ago when I was younger. When you're younger, you want to fit into that dress and just having lettuce and that. I was stressed. Right? It's not normal.
Feel stressed and again all this.
It's not normal.
That's not normal. That's it.
Eat
We need to be.
better
We need to live in the moment. We got it mindfulness, isn't it? You're mindful being.
Yeah, you want to feel good
You feel good. That's right.
in our mind. Oh wow, excellent. So the name of your clinic and contact number, or how we can book it.
So our clinic name is Ayur Health, and Hillcrest is the place that we do the consultations. We have other areas that we provide the treatments. So yeah, just close to
How do
the
you
city.
spell it? So when I
Hillcrest,
Google it.
yeah, Hillcrest, Hill Hill.
Oh no,
Crest.
the AU
Ayur Health, Ayur Health.
Health.
That's
Two
right.
separate.
Yes, Ayur Health, or you can look for Dr. Bosco Paul, Ayurvedic doctor. You will find that. Yes, and
the numbers we'll find there.
yeah, that's right.
We don't want
These
to give a
days,
number out now. We'll just go to the website.
that's
and
all
we'll see
available
there.
these days.
Yeah.
0470-169-933. If anyone wants to contact me or text me.
Yeah,
or
one more time in case I didn't have the pen.
0470-169-9933.
Excellent. Thanks. Any
Thank you,
last
Nicole.
words to our listener that you'd like to leave them with? Any quotes, any positive sayings, anything?
If food is right, no need for medicine. If food is not correct, it's no purpose for medicine.
Excellent.
That's from Ayurveda.
Excellent.
The food is everything.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bosco Paul.
Thanks
Thank you
a lot.
very much. Bless. Thank you. Perfect.
That was interesting, isn't it?
That was
Like how I
great.
came and the changes, you notice that, and
Yeah.
now it's clear and feel
I know.
lighter. Yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah. So if you
Yes.
want to say goodbye here.
Thank you, everyone. Happy to see all of you. And
That was
thank you,
excellent.
Nicole. Thank you.
Perfect.